to
but I don't drink coffee.
make a request.
I will too.
My grandson wants to come see the fire.
Oh, anytime.
So bad.
Bring him the best time.
You didn't think I'd get up this early, did you?
I didn't think you ever went to bed. I thought you stayed on your broom all night flying around.
Stumptown Parade be the time, that's when they fire off the fireworks. I mean,
Come over anytime, but the best is Thursday night at 7, because everybody's there going through the trucks.
Chair.
or rotate them around. Oops, I was trying to push this one that way.
Lisa, when you do this, can you, I'll read.
I don't know if everybody saw this, but I have a copy of the paper about the community suppers. I did see it. I saw it.
No.
I'll send it around.
You have to vote
I-
on Thea.
Let me see what I have in a minute.
Chair.
Let me see.
And Dawn.
Yeah, she sent me a...
That was one thing I was trying to find for facilities, so I have to...
Is this what we've already seen or something additional?
I emailed this to you,
Okay.
Peter. Yeah. So it's just a resolution because we're overlapping the fiscal year end.
So we ready? Who's taking minutes?
I guess I am.
Okay. Well,
Because Raina's coming or?
No.
no, she a kid makes the end of me. Okay, call to order at 8:35. Roll call is myself, Kathy, Jean, Peter, Leslie, Diane, Dawn, and Tia. How's that? Okay, we need approval of the agenda for today's meeting.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So, old business, none, new business. First thing is 2013-2014 preliminary budget for Creekside Park. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Let me ask you a question. At a regular board meeting, can she second it?
No, she can't. You can't do that. You're not a board member. It's a
Yeah.
regular meeting to begin with. This is the other one. We have to start again.
Oh, sorry, this is...
Okay. Jean made a
I made
motion.
the motion, I'll second.
She second.
You're not official enough.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Public comment. Is there any public comment limited to 3 minutes? Do you have any public
Now you
comment?
can say.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, since you knew that this was coming up, why wasn't this done at the June meeting?
We didn't know it was coming up. We... Wait.
Which part are you talking about? Which part?
The part of voting for this new business preliminary budget and for these votes?
We didn't know it was coming up, but we'd have done it at the June meeting. That's why we're having this special meeting, because it came up since the June meeting.
It's like the meeting we had last year. We had the same meeting at the same time.
Yeah.
2 days before.
We didn't
With no
realize.
budget, but just a number.
Yeah.
You
Special
didn't
meeting.
realize that the project wasn't going to be finished by June 31st?
She could.
I can explain better than Steve can. That's why I'm trying to answer your question. The CDC grant was very likely to have been spent by June 30. You know, the part that they're holding, the part that's on this budget, the majority of the rest of this is all Sonoma County Transit, things that have come in since, and the money's been fluid. It's been coming in and the grants and contracts signed, I mean, literally day by day to you. So what I'm saying is it's been hard for us to even find a number of how much money are we really going to get. And that's, you know, what's going in and going out on the construction project. So unfortunately, we can't crystal ball that. But isn't this based on needing to approve the final amount of the budget for extending this project? That is what this number is. It's just been a number that's been fluid and it's been hard to nail because the project has gone through shrink back, and then we found funding to do more, you know, to go back to the original scope of the project. So that's what happens in this facilities committee meeting every 2 weeks. There's been change orders to the project. It's been completely fluid. And then the contracts that come in, like Sonoma County Water Agency, that was just even like yesterday, I want to say. It's been a number that we couldn't, you know absolutely dead on, and we wouldn't know how much we had spent by June 30th, depending on the construction schedule. And, you know, if he has rainy days and can't do work. So that's...
I think my 3 minutes are up.
Okay. Okay, any other public comment? If not, Old business, none, and new business, okay. Preliminary budget, Creekside Park. Who's presenting that here?
Oh, this is just a
item
resolution
11.
to approve the budget, really actually what was carried forward from last year, because we're not going to make the June 30, we're not going to spend out the grant. So I guess
So my
the
question
resolution was
to you then
introduced
is-
by Steve
Yeah,
Baxton.
if we had finished by the end of this month, then we wouldn't have to do this.
We wouldn't have had to do this.
Okay, that's what I know. Okay, so,
It's introduced by Steve Baxton, who moved its adoption, and seconded by,
no, but we don't do it till we get to action items.
oh, okay.
Yeah, we just bring it up, what we're doing now.
Just for clarification, what was the date that we approved the 1.8?
The date we
The
started.
second time we approved the 1.8.
Yeah, what,
You mean the date we did it?
The date, we had a resolution, we just
Yeah,
decided
that
to
was-
increase the
What-
total spending on the project to
It was,
1.8.
Mr. Arnone was here as well. It was a February meeting?
That was the first time we agreed to the 1.8. That's when we signed the contract for 1.8. No, but then after all this funding stuff came in, April, May, I just don't remember if it was April,
yeah.
May or June,
Well,
but
I'll
I
look
actually
it
don't
up,
remember
look it up and
either.
get back to you on that.
that was a very important thing.
Well, you don't remember it either.
Well, so you don't remember it then. I'm sure it's
It's in April or May.
We don't have to remember because it's in the minutes, you just look up the minutes and we'll find out. But if you want to, I'll look it up and let you know what date it was. Okay, so that was the first thing, then the second thing is the appropriation limit. What's the appropriation limit for Creekside? Is it all going to be one item or is it two?
It's the same.
I don't have the second resolution.
It's on,
Both sides?
you have my copy, that's why.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
So one side is, here's the appropriation. Okay, so, yeah, we just
I'll give it back to you, Les.
talk about it and then we'll vote on it later. Okay, so well, everybody sees those two. Now, the third one, which is the main reason we're here, is we had a possible Brown Act violation. So I talked to our attorney and he said what we do is we bring it up in public meeting that there was a violation of the Brown Act and we make sure we don't do it again. He said the good thing is it was just a scheduling thing. It was nothing to do with money, so it's not as you have to turn it in. He said, but we need to reaffirm to ourselves not to do it. And what it was a serial meeting. We can't have serial meetings. If someone calls you or emails you, you write back and say, no, that's a serial meeting. We have to bring it up in public session. And so that's what our advice was. Any questions on it? And
So what are we going to do about it?
Not do it
we're
again.
not going to do it again, number one, and number two, we're going to go over the Brown Act again. And if you want, one of your suggestions, if you want, we can have someone come out and talk about the Brown Act.
How did we get notified that we had committed a Brown Act violation?
Our director called me and told me about it. And so then I came back and went to our legal counsel and said, this has been brought to my attention. He said, here's what you do with it.
Has there been a formal complaint filed, or was it just a director talking to the chair?
I don't get received formal complaints. Diane would receive it if she...
Okay.
Yeah, no, that was the only.
I just wasn't sure if he filed it formally with the county, or if he just...
Well, he said, Peter.
I just talked to Steve.
Yeah, Peter, I went to Peter, he said this one doesn't have to be filed because it is a violation, but it doesn't have to be filed because it has nothing to do with money. And I said, yes, we will do it. And then as Peter's suggestion, we're going to have some more training on the Brown Act.
Well, and the urgency to have this on a special meeting agenda is why?
There was no urgency to have it on the special meeting agenda. It was the special meeting was for the resolutions. We put it on here because if the discussion merited it, then we would want to put it on our July agenda.
Peter wanted a special.
It just seemed-
I guess your question is probably trying to figure out why Steve said it, and the real reason is this, instead of the other.
That wasn't my question.
Yeah.
I just know that this has come up in the past when there's been multiple topics on a special meeting agenda. In fact, you brought it to the attention back in October, in September, that was quite newsworthy. But I just thought it might be better if it was a possible Brown Act violation that it was put on the regular agenda, and I didn't understand the urgency to do it at a special meeting.
No, there was no urgency to do it at a special meeting. My feelings is to bring up the topic and decide
But
if we wanted to.
Peter did ask for a special meeting on this only.
Yes, he did.
Just on the Brown Act violation. And so it happened that we had to have this meeting, so I said.
Okay, I didn't.
That's where it all started.
Okay.
That's where it all started.
Thanks for clarifying.
Okay, so, any other questions on that?
Well, yes, for clarification, I mean, do you
On what?
want to bring it up in the July meeting?
Oh, that's
or
up
are
to you
we?
guys.
Well, I
Our-
think it's been covered.
Yeah, our attorney said as long as we bring it up, as long as the board members themselves realize that you don't do those things. I said, yeah, we'll make sure everybody
I would
understands.
make sure the absent board minder
Never.
knows what's going on.
Yeah, I'll tell
You
them.
want to run a poll around the table to see if everybody concurs?
About what?
Can we actually vote on it if it's not an action?
Well, there's
item?
nothing to vote on.
Yeah.
There's no vote. You just want to know if people concur, I'm sorry.
You heard from
Right.
the council that it was in fact a Brown Act violation and you should do something.
Right, and this is what he said to do, and this is what he said to
It's
say.
actually what it says to do in the Brown Act as well, that we have to talk about it in a public forum, acknowledge it, and say that we unconditionally agree that we will not do it again. That's almost verbatim, actually.
Did you have a question?
I have a question. Does this being determined to be a Brown Act violation, does it invalidate your board decision?
There wasn't a
There
decision.
wasn't a decision.
Yes, there was a decision.
What was the decision?
The decision was that you all agreed that the supper club could not have that day.
I never responded to the email, so
And
I
I
didn't agree
didn't either.
anything. I never even commented, so there was no agreement.
So even though this says that there was an agreement, this is not true?
Where does it say there was an agreement?
I've received responses from all board of directors except Peter Andrews, who agreed that July 6th would not be an appropriate day for the Fomar Supper Club to have its next event for many reasons, including a desire to not compete with Monte Rio businesses.
I never saw that email. I've never seen it, so
Actually, your email address is on this.
I did not see that email at all.
We're all innocent. So was the email a fake?
No, Peter, the email was not a fake.
I
I
just
sent
didn't read
it,
it.
for heaven's
But
sake.
nobody looked at it and nobody responded to it.
Well, nobody responded to
I
it.
responded.
Jean responded, but nobody else did.
And you, but you wrote on here, Dawn, I
Okay.
received responses
Okay.
from all board members.
All right.
It's pretty clear.
In any case,
But
the
you're
bottom
denying
line
you
is
respond.
that
And you're denying.
I
on
did not respond by
individual,
email.
in individual conversations at different times, I've talked to a number of board members and community members who agree that having the supper club on a night, like a Saturday or a Sunday, competes with local business.
So you are saying that there was a decision made. This is a letter that came to Friends of Monte Rio. I'm a member of Friends of Monte Rio.
Maybe it's my interpretation. I'm not sure that the board actually stands by it. It's my interpretation of what I heard.
So maybe there was no Brown Act violation. The board didn't participate.
Well, I actually disagree, Peter.
Huh?
I believe that there was a violation. The violation was on the original email because she asked for a directive. It wasn't necessarily a vote, but it was a question that was posed, and she asked for a reply. So that actually is constituting.
But if you get a response from every single board member, like she says here...
I did not reply to that email.
No, not to the email. If she did it even outside of the email, doesn't that still count as part of the decision that was made? This was sent to Friends of Monte Rio.
So is your argument with the decision or the Brown Act violation?
What I asked, and actually, I don't see why you should be responding to me on this one. What I asked is, does it invalidate your decision that you made?
But it's not our decision, it's hers. She's the one who rents the place out. Yes, I don't rent the place out, she rents the place out.
I have received responses from all board directors, excepting Peter Andrews, who agree that July 6th would not be an appropriate day for the supper club.
It's clear.
But her final decision, it's her final decision, not ours.
It's not ours, we don't make that decision, we don't countermand her. She's renting the place out, we aren't.
Can I ask a question? This has come up before, and I know in my discussions with Bill Arnone, like, I want to say almost a year ago, if I'm not mistaken, it was, and maybe this is why we do, like you say, you'll get some Brown Act speaker or something, that polling the board and respond only to me, that, in other words, just to get guidance and information. It's not asking you to, in other words, I thought the serial meeting only factually occurred if all of you talked offline about it or passed emails back and forth between yourselves or did the reply all. Generally, it's the reply only to me if I want direction from the board. And
That might be a clarification that we need.
I think it's
to
really clear that you guys don't understand how the Brown Act.
Yes, we do understand. It's
what
clear
I'm
to me
saying
that you're
is
just
I'm-
trying to cause trouble with that.
I'm not just trying to cause trouble.
Okay,
I
so
think
let me
it's a
finish,
problem.
I know, let me
Yeah, I was
finish
just
the point.
reiterating what Bill Arnone had advised, and like I said, a topic similar to this came up about a year ago, and the question was asked.
You just agreed that this was a Brown Act violation.
Because of the thing that was put out asking, in that, if you read that email. it's a
Arnone
Brown Act.
actually, can we see Arnone's response that says this part is a violation, but that it was pulled outside of the email is not a violation?
Steve had the conversation.
And just to clarify, whether that paragraph or this paragraph or that sentence or this sentence is a violation, we have acknowledged it in a public board meeting, we have unconditionally agreed, we will not let it happen again, and we have done our duty resolving it. So we can, we can talk about this for an hour if we want. It's not going to change the fact that we've already accepted the violation and we've done something about it. We've done exactly what we've been told to do.
Yes, and I've been asking, does this invalidate the reply that
No.
we got from your events
It
director?
absolutely
No,
does not.
because we didn't make, it's the decision, she made the decision, not us. We didn't say, we as a board say no. No, that's her job because she's the events coordinator.
So
It's her decision.
she gets to decide that
Absolutely.
something
Yes.
that we would
Yes.
do is not in the best interest of the community?
Yes.
It's a conflict, there's so much going on that.
Yeah.
That's what.
And that's not the
what she
premise
was
of the
asking.
supper club anyway. When it first started, was to do it on days when the town was slow and it didn't affect other businesses. It's clear across the board, even in that article, it states that it's done when restaurants are generally not open as a general theme. So to do it on the busiest day of the year, I concur with her asking for advice.
I don't think that there's an issue with the supper club, it's just that weekend.
timing,
where
it's
we
a
are
horrible
so
weekend.
incredibly busy.
I wouldn't be
There's-
going.
No.
It would
wouldn't even
dilute,
consider it.
it would dilute the supper club and dilute everything that everybody's doing.
It works all year long.
And
for
the supper club has
businesses.
been doing a great thing, why would we
It'd
want
be
to
a
have
conflict of interest of another district event.
Why would we want to have it on a weekend when 20 people show up because there's so many other events going on?
We're getting off topic.
Yeah, let's finish this up.
But I would like to make a comment about Diane's comment about hoping for information or, that's strictly, completely and clearly forbidden by the Brown Act.
Right.
To
And that's-
hold your fellow board members about
Exactly.
how they feel about, anything, just you want to know how they feel about this wording or the change to the bylaws. You just want to, maybe it's just, word or used to be, which phrase should I use? You can't do that.
Yeah,
It has to be in public, open public
That's what
forum.
we're agreeing
Can't
with,
do-
yeah.
Well,
No, she just stated.
I didn't mean
that
on
was okay.
decision-making things, but I meant on, just advice in general. I was always told that as long as you said reply only to me,
No, still
it's not.
serial,
You
still
can't do
serial
that.
meeting.
You can't
so
do
you're
that.
saying when I send out draft minutes for people to review, there's a serial meeting? This is my point, I mean,
No,
Or
when you-
asking for a date of a
when you-
meeting or something. I don't think that qualifies as.
okay, well, that's what
Yeah,
that's all
well,
I'm saying, is
yeah.
generally, it's not, like a decision. What I was talking about was just, opinions or advice.
But opinion, no, sorry, public forum, it's public
Okay.
forum.
All right, so we beat that one, so we're going to go, any reports and information? If not, any correspondence? And if not, then we'll go to the action item. The first action, now this is a roll call vote, right?
Right, so
The
we're
first
looking
one-
at 386.
Yeah. Preliminary budget, Creekside Park. And it's in the
Right.
amount of,
$869,532.82. And that would be the income and the expense that's remaining
okay.
in the
do it.
grants. And so
Let's do the roll.
this was introduced by Board Chair Steve Baxman, who moved its adoption. Seconded by,
I'll second it.
okay, roll call vote, Steve Baxman.
Oh, wait, are we not asking for discussion on the?
Yeah, do you want to discuss it? Do you have any discussion?
Absolutely. Because we went through this exact same thing last year. We're talking about a budget which does not have any detail. There is no budget. We're talking about authorizing, like we did last year, $1 million to be spent on a project with no details going to the public. We're doing it like we did last year in a effectively non-public, not I know the public's invited, 8:30 in the morning, but in a special meeting, not a regular meeting when they normally come, even though what we're doing is authorizing spending 50% of the money that is totally authorized. We've got 1.8 in total, this is 900,000, so we're halfway done with the project, is what we're saying, which, as you pointed out, we couldn't have known that last week. We couldn't have known that. We're only halfway through now. So it's the kind of thing that is obviously creates the perception on the part of the public doing it the way we're handling it of not being open to the public.
The reason we're doing it now is a deadline we hit against. We have to get this in so we can get the money coming back.
I understand the
Before,
formality.
because our next
It would
meeting
be
is
lovely
July.
if a detailed budget, like I asked for last year, which you agreed with me last year and said, oh, we'll get that together. That must be there somewhere. But it's been a year and we haven't seen a detailed budget of where the things are going. But it would be lovely if 30 days ago, this being a significant monetary item, and government guidelines call for any significant vote on a significant expenditure of money, like $1 million or 900,000, be publicly notified to everybody 30 days in advance of the public meeting. It's just that there might be the perception when you call a special meeting, which only needs less public awareness or notice of the meeting, that...
How could we have done this 30 days ago? If it's a special meeting that we just called and we're only required actually to...
Well, possibly, I'm saying maybe a special meeting wasn't the best idea. Public meeting, a regular meeting might have been a better idea.
Okay.
We certainly, but as I agree, how could we have known we were only going to be 50% completed 3 weeks ago?
Okay, so is that your comment?
Yes. If it
Okay,
was.
any other board comment? Okay, let's do a roll call.
We have to open it to public discussion.
Oh, yeah, any old public? You want a discussion? Oh, okay.
I don't want to be causing trouble to you guys.
Thank you.
Let's just move it forward.
Okay, roll call vote.
Steve Baxman.
Aye.
Katrina Thurman absent. Kathy LaPlante.
Aye.
Jean Sasso.
Aye.
And Peter Andrews.
No.
Okay, so the second part of the appropriation limit, and that is 869.
Yeah, 387, which is just the appropriation limit that matches the amount that's going to be spent. So this...
But, okay, any comment? We'll open the public comment.
Well, let's do public
Put it on the floor first. I move we adopt
Okay,
it.
first you move we adopt it.
Yeah.
And a second?
I'll second it.
Kathy seconds. Okay, now, board discussion. Okay, public discussion. Okay, let's do a roll call vote on that one.
Steve Baxman.
Aye.
Katrina Thurman absent. Kathy LaPlante.
Aye.
Jean Sasso.
Aye.
Peter Andrews.
Aye.
Okay, so, any about the accounts to review, and if not, we'll adjourn at 8:55.
Okay.
And then we'll go into,
You want this back? I've got the, or not?
I don't know.
Okay. I've got the electronic file. You can,
Yeah, I saw the electronic, I happened to see it in the paper,
Yeah.
but
I will bring it. That was a good one.